right, again. Hi, I'm Caleb.
I'm Darren.
And we are here to go through our 20 to 11
Our
top
board games.
Games of all time, yes. Sorry.
He gets excited sometimes.
A little bit. Okay, so a lot of work went into this, obviously. We said it every video, but really did. A lot of editing, a lot of re-ranking, and making sure that the video just looks great and we have fun and whatever else. I don't know. But yeah, so that's our puppy walking around. She's the cutest thing in the world. And there she goes, laying down. Oh my God, she's so cute. She's perfect. Anyhow, so...
She's perfect.
She's perfect.
If you guys haven't already watched our last videos, definitely go back and check those out before you watch this one, so that way you can at least catch up to where we are here now.
Yes, and see
see how many crossovers we've had so far.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be re-mentioning things and stuff like that. So yeah,
we are going to be guessing each other's top 10s, and whatever's in the list we get a point for. If it's the exact place, we get bonus points.
Yes.
If it is not, obviously.
Yeah. So this is the last time that we have to know. Yeah, we don't want to have.
I have gotten 2 of yours wrong.
I got 4 of yours. 4 of yours, I guess, that were, So.
I've gotten 2 so far. I seem to know you just a little bit better.
Oh, just shut up. Shut up. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Also, we are betting on 10 crossovers. However, we've changed that. I'm going to say, personally, because I need the points, I'm going to say 20 or more crossovers for 1 extra point. And you're saying 19 and under?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a point?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see who gets an extra point. And then we're also saying 3 direct crossovers. I don't think that's going to be the case. We'll probably have 2.
I'm a little surprised so far with each other's lists.
Yeah.
So.
We might in the top 10 have 1, but I think that might be it. So, yeah.
Imagine our number 1s are the same.
Oh, no. No.
No.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I think I know. But anyhow, yeah. So also, if you're looking for any games, definitely check out your local board game store. Our local board game store is Family Game Night. Yes. So shop local always, and support your local board game store.
Yes.
So okay, this is crazy. We are ready, right?
Yes.
Who's starting again?
You start.
I start. You end, and then next one you. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. I start. That's crazy. So nervous. Oh man. Okay. All right. Before we start, let's name our chunk here, because these so the 20 to 11. These are games that these are our number ones.
Could have been
our number ones.
Yes.
There you go. And maybe dipping into the early 21s.
They could have at least been in our
in 25 or whatever. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
no. I definitely think that at least at one point in time these were our number 1 game. You know what I'm saying? Like for a moment, maybe. I think so.
Well, maybe even the moment we played it.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for this list. I'm calling this list right here, this chunk, my evergreens. They will always remain games that I always want to play, and they're never going to get old, no matter how many years pass.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, obviously for number 1's probably 2, but this is just that kind of special.
Yeah.
If somebody mentions that, I'm like, oh, let's talk about this for days. You know, let's go.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what do you want to call your list?
I don't really have a name for it, other than it could have been in my top 10 at one point.
Okay.
This list.
So your potential top 10s.
Yeah, my potential top 10s.
I get you. All right. Well, anyhow, that doesn't matter. Yes. Get to number. All right. So number 20. Here we go. So number 20 is one of the greatest tile laying games of all time, and it's the most simple thing ever. It is Carcassonne.
Oh, wait, that was already. I already said that.
Yes, you did. What number was that for you?
That was 46.
So
for me.
good crossover, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So Carcassonne. Yeah.
Wait. Sorry. Crap.
No, you're fine. Yeah. So Carcassonne is one of those games that I kind of want to show really anybody for if you've never played board games that often or you've never seen anything like this. This is kind of just that early entry game.
Yeah.
But what I love is the fact that it's minimal rules. And teaching how it scores is minimal too. Like it's very quick to the table. So this is a game that can take up to literally 20 to 30 minutes. So like I said, every time that it hits the table, it's just so magical. But yeah, so all you're doing is on your turn, you have first of all, you have like I think it's like what 8 meeples or maybe something like that, maybe 9. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have like a whole bunch of meeples, and then on your turn, all you're doing is drawing a tile and placing it, connecting it to a road, a grass area, or a city. Period.
So simple.
That is it. That is the game. And then when you do that, if you want to score points, you can, if you want to, put a meeple on one of those roads or in the cities or in the monasteries or whatever. And you can do like the farmers with the expansion, which we haven't really done, which is so funny.
We haven't done any
so
of
funny
the expansions.
I know, it's so funny.
And
but
we have at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just, I don't know why we haven't.
I know.
The game itself is just so good.
It's just breaking. I mean, I guess for like a longer, deeper game, you could probably do the expansion. But anyhow, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. But once you close off roads, or monasteries, if they're surrounded or whatever, you immediately score those, and then you get that meeple back to use for scoring again. So so it's kind of like, when do you place your meeples? When do you withhold them? And then it's so good.
Yep.
And like I said, it's an evergreen.
He wins every time.
Oh no, there's one time because you all teamed up against me. So let's get that straight.
He does win almost every time.
Yeah,
and that was with our daughters that we teamed up against you.
Oh well, that's for
the kid card
for the kid card,
which they made a kid version.
Yeah,
and that's and it's already, you could probably play it with their kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's so. well depending on the age. I think it's like what, 4 and up. Yeah. So that's number 20, Carcassonne. Awesome.
My number 20. Oh wow, this is the one. So you remember how I told you Meadow and the game. This one I told you I flip flopped.
Yeah.
You're not gonna understand why.
Okay.
Because I don't know why I put it this way.
Okay.
But this is a card game with some really, really, really cool minis.
Okay.
And it's
awesome.
Unmatched.
Okay. Awesome. Oh wait, was that in? No. Okay, we're good.
I was about to say,
almost.
This is what I mean. This could be in my top 10.
for sure.
This could have been my number 1 at one point.
Yeah, I think.
I love this game. It is a card game where every single player has their own deck, their own I almost said meeple, their own mini, and their own different powers. It's just so good. This last game we played, I was Deadpool.
Yeah, and I was Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man. And the Deadpool deck. They're just so unique. And the way that the art for every single character. Mm-hmm. So in the game, every character, like I said, have their own powers. There's like Bloody Mary, Sherlock Holmes, Invisible Man.
I mean, it goes on like
Sinbad. It just
there's Jurassic Park. They just did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one that just came out.
There's just so many, and my favorite thing about this game is that every single one of them can be mixed and matched together, and you can play with any of them. Mm-hmm. So everybody has a card. You have a little board that's going to be your movement space, and you can play 4 players, right?
Yeah, and there's different locations too. It's so cool. Like,
so that's what I'm saying. Every board, every box that you buy, you can mix and match. Yeah. And it's just so fun because you can make the game different literally every single time that you play it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be every time you play it. But everyone has their own deck, and each player has how many spaces they can move, if they're ranged or if they're melee. And you're just fighting. You're all attacking each other on this board, trying to take each other out, trying to get rid of their what's the main mini called?
Oh, I guess it's like warrior champion or like
something like that. You take them out because some
fighter.
Yeah, you're fighter. Some cards allow you, like some characters have extra pieces that help them out. Mm-hmm. Like Sherlock Holmes has
as Watson.
Yeah. I almost forgot his name for some reason.
Yeah, and then the Invisible Man, which is sorry if you don't mind me adding that. No, I know. I just love it. So the Invisible Man, I love him because he has these fog tokens that he can kind of teleport to.
And it's
so
then
cool. And he can actually remove himself from the board, which blows my mind. Like, I love seeing
just pop up.
Like before you know what they do is playing it the first time, that character. Mm-hmm. And like, what? And you're drawing your cards like, I can do this.
And
so good.
And what's so cool is that it somehow still balances itself out between every character that you're going against, even though some of them may have like bonus. Like Medusa herself has like 3 harpy ladies, I think, that help her. And yes, they're 1 health, but they can still do a lot of damage. And it's just really cool, the diversity between every single player and every
so
single character. And the art for the cards.
Yeah.
The art that they make of these characters for, so good. And it's just a fun game, and now you can see why I had to switch this with Meadow, because yes, I love Meadow, but I don't know how that happened.
Oh, yeah.
This
Sure.
deserved to be in the top 20.
Totally agree.
So.
Yeah, and I will say, if we had the cooperative version, I think it'll rise more.
I think so too.
Because it sounds really good. Like a lot of people would say.
I just love the cards.
Yeah, I know. Just like how everybody is completely different. That's so good.
We don't even have to be battling. I feel like we could do. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, that's my number 20, and that's Unmatched.
Cool. All right. Okay, so my next one is one of the greatest nature games of all time. You cannot go wrong with this. Nobody can hate a nature-themed board game ever, especially this one. This is Parks.
That was my number 24.
Yes,
so that's another crossover.
Yeah, I knew it. Parks is one of the coolest themes in a game, like the national parks. Like making a game about the national parks where you're literally a hiker walking along. It's so gorgeous. First of all, we always compliment Keymaster Games for their art. The art style is just impeccable. I mean, it's just perfect. But it's not just that. It's the entire production. It's the quality of the pieces, all the cards,
the way it fits in the box.
Oh yeah. But anyhow, so what you're doing is so every time that you play the game, it's always different, and you have this whole trail that you're going on, and as you go across the it's representations of different parks around America, and you're just going to that location, taking that action, which it's like, if there's water tokens, you would take those tokens, and then you can use those to visit parks. Or go to a certain location to reserve the park so nobody else can take that from you. And there's always 3 parks that you can actually visit, but you have to make sure that you have the resources, and the resources are like trees and is it suns and then water, I think.
Yeah.
And the mountains too.
Yeah.
And I just love the little wooden pieces. It's so pretty. Again, the art, I can't get over it. And
it's such simple art in a way. Yeah,
it is.
It's so vibrant and
every
beautiful.
Artist that they hired for this, it's just, and so every single, I think, I don't know, there's like close to 40 some artists or something like that. There's a lot. But I adore this game. It's just gorgeous. Every time you break it out, it's just a good time, no matter who wins or loses. So with Parks, what I love too is the fact that the expansions add so much more complexity. And it's already a simple enough game, but if you just want like a little bit more things to do or more options, those expansions are just so wonderful. And the fact that we live in West Virginia and we have the new River Gorge Bridge as a card, it just makes us so happy. So it's like, because like in the initial box, it's not there, but it's the majority of all the national parks.
Yes.
But since New River Gorge Bridge did become one that
recent.
So as of like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or something like that. So but 19 is Parks. So
Parks.
Cool.
Man, you might be right about this 20 crossover thing. My number 19 might surprise you just a little bit.
Okay.
And that is Lost Ruins of Arnott.
Yes, I did not expect this. Okay, I thought it was out.
I think it's because we played it again.
Yay!
It definitely helps me realize how fun it is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Even though I lose, I can't seem to fully grasp how the game plays.
There's a lot of little things to do.
Time. Yeah. And I think that's why I like it so much, is because if you can't tell by my list so far, I like having things to do.
Yeah.
I like games where there's
the more complexity.
So, oh God, how do I explain how this game
plays?
Well,
it's funny because there's a lot of things.
But a worker placement.
Yeah, it is.
It's obviously a little bit of resource management.
Yes, it has a little bit of resource management. Yeah, and then it's like like bumping up on tracks and stuff too. But it's pretty much that, right? Like in it just feels like it's something else.
I know,
because it's a hybrid.
It's a mixture of so many things. Honestly, never would have thought could just go together. Yeah. So the game itself is a mixture of so many other games in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
And it almost feels like you never would have thought they would work together. And
it's so brilliant. It's brilliant. And
but it sounds like it's so not complex.
And deck building. Duh. That's one reason why I love it so much is deck building.
Yeah. And I'm not even... apparently I like deck building.
Yeah.
it's just a fun little game, and in the art style is really, really cool.
Oh my gosh, that map! No, just the board itself is gorgeous.
The board itself is gorgeous. The pieces are really fun.
Yeah.
The like monsters that they create are really cool. If you like Indiana Jones, you definitely would like this game because it just feels like you're an explorer. You get to go through, you place your character on exploring an area, and then
you dig at the site.
You dig at the site. You're
all an archaeologist.
You're an archaeologist. Jesus, can't speak. You're an archaeologist, and you're literally just trying to discover treasure and other things. Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Also, if you like Uncharted.
Yes.
So there you go.
Series,
board game.
Yeah.
And it still makes you feel like, because like there's cards that you have to use to also fly to places, to drive to places.
Yeah. It's cool because you either use and it's the multi-use card thing. Which we love multi-use cards. Yeah.
And then you would drive to the place, and then like this is what brings it into like the whole fantasy-esque world, is because there are monsters that will spawn, or are they like guardians or something?
Yeah, and you have to overtake them or overcome them or whatever.
You have to overtake them, and if you do, you get points for that. Yeah. So it's really cool just how many different things that you can actually do on a turn.
Yeah, it's so good. Because sorry, I'm not going to...
No, you're good. You're good. I can see that this is probably going to be high on your list.
Maybe, we'll see.
But just a really good game. It's really simple. I love it. I love it a lot more since we played it the last time. I was a little iffy about it beforehand, but it's easy once you sit down and actually play it. It's complex on trying to figure out a strategy. Yeah. That's what I've struggled with. Yeah. Easy to play game, hard to understand the strategy.
See, for me, it's like fluid.
I know.
I don't know why.
And that's what's weird to me, is because usually I am the way with that with complex games. It's just... the last few times, I just can't quite, because like on the board, there's also this track that you're going to try to go up on too.
Yeah, the research track. And you want to know when to do that sooner than later, because it benefits you later.
Exactly, and I can't quite grasp, and that gives you a lot of points. That can literally win you the game, just that, which is what basically got you the win last time too, because I wasn't too far behind, surprisingly. I thought I was a lot further. But it was because you were up on that track, and like I keep forgetting about that track. Like I'm focused on everything else on the board, but then there's still this that you got to be able to multitask in this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Highly.
For sure.
But that's my number 19, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my number 19, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Cool. I love it. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So my number 18 is one of the most special games to me, and I don't know why, and I think it's just because. And I can't believe it's higher than Terraforming Mars for me. But that is Wingspan. Yeah. So Wingspan is so... What? Oh, yeah? You thought it was in my top 10? Nice. Gotcha. It's just because, like... Guaranteed the first time we played it, it was like...
That really surprises me.
Yeah. No, Wingspan is so beautiful. The art, let's talk about the art. Let's talk about, oh my gosh, I love Stonemaier Games, and their production is probably, honestly, they're one of the best publishers out there, let's be honest. But it's not just that. It's
pieces.
It was pieces, but it's just the way the game plays, really, truly.
You feel immersed in a weird way.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, honestly, so when we first played this, it was super crazy, because remember the first card that we flipped over, and first of all, every single card is different. We flipped over the very first card, and it was a cardinal, which is our state bird. Yeah. That's so mind-blowing.
I know.
And so that kind of already helped with the first play, which is like the idea of that. And anyhow, so Wingspan, it is an engine-building game where you are collecting all these cards and putting these birds into your aviary. I think it's called aviary, right? Something like that. And you have to feed them. So I love the realism is that like it'll show how many eggs that they can lay. It's normally like halved in like real life. But I love the fact that it's super realistic of like what the bird eats. And there's like a little fun fact at the bottom.
It's so cool, the information it gives you while you're playing it, and the art of each bird is just so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
And the simplicity of like the actual setup of the game and the actual gameplay.
Yeah. It's just calming. I mean, when you have a nature theme, yeah. Now, I will say, there are a lot of board game hobbyists who just do not like Wingspan. They absolutely hate it. But I understand why. It's super like overrated in a way, but at the same time, I don't feel like it is. I think that with like repeated plays, maybe it can be, because there are certain bird cards that are so
there
overpowered.
Are some, yeah. We played one game with you, and you had I don't know how many cards.
Oh, I was just tucking and tucking it. It was like it's stacked.
And there was no winning at that point. I will agree. It almost became not fun,
right?
Because of it.
Well, but what I like is that you can take out whichever birds or like bird cards that you want. And with all the expansions too, it just adds way more birds and yeah, I mean, like I said, the overall gameplay and the production of it, especially with the dice, I love the dice with the bird what is it, the bird feeder or whatever, and you drop the dice in.
Yeah.
That's
it's
just
unnecessary,
so cool.
But it's great.
Yeah, it really is. It does help you with the theme and bring you in and pulls you in. But yeah, I can't believe I like it slightly more than Terraforming Mars. I guess it depends on the day, really. Yeah. So it's kind of like, because I mean, Terraforming Mars was a little bit farther down, I think. But yeah, I think it was also just, I like that nature theme more than maybe like the space theme. So yeah, but Wingspan is brilliant. Love it so much. That's my number 18. So
yep. Okay. My number 18, I believe, is a crossover. And that is Betrayal House on the Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so high on my list.
That's awesome.
And I think it's because, one, we're getting into spooky season 2. So like when I think of this game around this time, I just love it.
Yeah.
Even more. He talked about it when, I don't remember which video
I think it was the last video, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
But Betrayal House on the Hill is a tile procedurally basically generated that you create by placing the tiles. You flip it and it'll, build onto the house, and it's like scenario based. Everybody's playing a different character. They have different like strengths, different mental stuff. I don't even think you talked about that.
No, I did not. How like every character has like different stats. Yeah,
everyone has different stats, which in turn allows you're going to strategize a little bit more on who's going to do what. Because you're going to have different strengths in areas. Yeah, like depending on if somebody can move to a certain room quicker than another person. Yeah, or like fighting a monster, then the person whoever has the higher strength, who can take the most mental damage. You're going to want to strategize based on that, which is what's really fun too. And then later on, you're going to eventually get enough bad omens that you trigger the haunt, which in turn causes one of you all to become
the betrayer.
The betrayer,
it's so good.
And it's so cool. It's also really hard sometimes as the betrayer, because you can get a game where you become the betrayer. Yeah. And then you come back in with a plan, but come to find out they already had all the stuff that they needed to win. Yeah. Yeah. It took so long for the haunt to hit.
Okay, so, and I kind of want to be an advocate for this and just like add this. Well, it's more of like a hindrance. But I will say, when that game shines, it really shines.
It really does.
There are times where the game, where it just falls short. You're like, that was kind of pointless to play. But like, it's still that experience, especially if you can set the room and do like the candle lighting and like make it all creepy.
I'm not going to lie, sometimes you might want to try to trigger the haunt sooner than later because of the possibility of...
Yeah, well, it's just random. It depends on what you roll and stuff.
On what you roll, But you can get the haunt triggered if you're more reckless a little bit, going off doing things.
Yeah, just like opening doors all the time.
Over again.
Yeah.
And then you got to fight creatures eventually in it, and it's just so much gets added to the game that when you first start playing it, you're like, okay, this is chill, lay back. We're just searching, doing things. No, eventually some crazy crap's gonna happen, and it is just a lot of fun. Get a group of friends to sit around the table, especially around this time. Yeah. Like he said, get some candles and stuff. Yeah. It's such a good time. I think we did that one time.
Yeah. It was so good.
Such a fun time.
It was so fun, yeah.
Never will forget it, and I think that's why it's so high on my list.
Agreed. It's that theme that really drives it.
That theme. Yeah. So that is my number 18, right?
Yeah, I think so.
My number 18, Betrayal House on the Hill.
All right. Jumping to 17. Okay, so I'm really happy to talk about this one, and I'm really actually shocked that it's this high, because when I ranked it, it kept falling out. I'm like, no, it cannot. And then, yeah, it just makes sense. And I think it's not just the nostalgic factor, which is weird because we haven't played it. Anyhow, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But so
just say it.
Yeah. So my number 17 is Ticket to Ride.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I?
I mean, I would understand if you put it in my top 10.
I did.
No. Okay. Cool. Ticket to Ride.
I feel like I almost did though.
Yeah. Sure. Ticket to Ride is just that classic game that cannot go.
You get it everywhere now.
But yeah, it just. Oh my gosh, you can. And now, like, I just every single time that we play it, I just.
That's another
I can never. Oh, it is. It is. I can never have a bad time with Ticket to Ride, no matter what. No matter if somebody cuts off all my routes or whatever. I just love the idea of the just drawing the cards, placing your trains, trying to complete your tickets. That's the game. That's really the game, and the theme really drives it too. Again, which is weird. Like a game about trains. Like who cares? You start to fall in love with trains more when you play this. And the art, nobody talks about the art with Ticket to Ride. I love that art.
I don't even think I usually think about the art.
You don't. Yeah. You don't. You'd never think about the art with that. And which is fine because it doesn't drive it doesn't help the game in any case really. Mm-hmm. But in a way it does because it has that like. And people think about trains and they think about Christmas and stuff. I don't know why that's a thing. That's like a little stereotype-ish kind of. But yeah, I don't
think about Christmas when I think of trains.
Well, or more like cozy season. Like trains are just kind of cozy for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I love this game, and all you're doing is you're drawing cards and trying to place your trains down. I don't need to explain it. Go watch another video. We kind of explain the game. It's so simple. It's so simple. If you never played like a game like Ticket to Ride, just do it. Yeah. It's like everybody should have this game. Everybody should own this game. And yeah, again, I want to get the Legacy. I don't know if we talked about it in the last video, but the Legacy version.
We did.
Really, really want that. Very, very much. Because yeah, we love Legacy games, and that is one that we are dying to have. So that is number 17, Ticket to Ride.
My number 17, I was a little disappointed to see where it fell on your list, so it's another crossover.
Oh, okay.
We're definitely going to hit your 20 mark.
I knew it. Got an extra point. Let's go.
We're at that point now. But my number 17 is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
Whoa, awesome. Good.
I love this
I
game.
love that you love it more than me, actually. I love that you love it. Yeah.
I love it so much.
Okay, we probably love it equally in a way, but like, yeah.
The fact that I get to basically play D&D without doing D&D.
Yeah, and without having somebody running the game.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. I won't say more.
I get to have my own character. I get to have my own mini. I get to have my own character sheet. I get to explore. I get to talk. I get to fight. I get to do everything, and it's so fun.
Yeah.
You get a little map. You get a book that flips, and it's different areas. This is where you're traveling. There's creatures. There's initiative. We talked about it a little bit, how it plays. So if you want to see that, definitely go watch it. But I'm going to basically just explain how much I love this game. Because it's so fun. And we played it this last time, and I kind of realized how much fun I had with it. Mm-hmm. Because we did the boat, the ship one.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny? We haven't even actually broken out of
We haven't done a lot.
The tutorial kind of thing.
We're out of the tutorial now.
No, there's still more to learn. Still more to learn.
I guess so. Mm-hmm. We're in the tutorial and I love it this much.
Yeah.
Okay, this game is just so fun. I get to... Oh, when we played it, the strategy that we went back and forth so well.
Oh, we sure did. It's like, okay, if you attack him, bring him to me, or you're like,
and I was like, get him over here.
Yeah.
Because I play the healer. I can push. I can move. I can add strength.
Jeez, she breathing heavy.
You get your own deck. You level up with powers. Mm-hmm. You get to earn XP.
Yeah.
It's just you're in the game.
Yeah.
You're playing. You're that character, and it's fun.
Yeah. And like kind of learning the game too is really not.
It teaches you. That's what I'm like.
It does. It teaches you slowly as you go, so that you learn more mechanics.
We are in the tutorial still, but we're playing the game full fledged while it's still teaching us.
It's like, oh, you're adding that. That's fine. Like it's like. I love how the building of like the next step is. Yeah. It's kind of how like Pandemic Legacy is.
Yeah.
Where like it adds just a little bit.
It's not a legacy game.
No, it's not. Well, campaign.
But it's a campaign game But
and you can
once you get to a certain point, you can just go ahead and switch your character.
Yeah. If you want to.
It literally even says if you want to,
that or add it or add or take away whatever.
Take away. So it's really. I mean, you can play it over and over again.
Mm-hmm. And just by you explaining it made me want to play it like right now.
I know.
The way that you said everything, I'm like, that sounds like the coolest game in the world. I want to play it right now.
I know, right?
The way that you just said all that.
It's so fun, and I do want to play it right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll play it later.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But Gloomhaven is number 17, right?
I think so. Maybe.
Let me make sure.
Yep, should be.
Yes, my number 17 is Gloomhaven. If you want to actually know a little bit of how to play it, please definitely go check out our other video because he did explain it a little bit better.
Kind of. I think you did.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, so guess what? 16 is a game that we played last night.
Oh.
Which one do you think it is? Because we played a few games.
We did. I think I know what it is.
Yeah? Can I say it?
Can I say it?
Yep.
Mysterium.
It is Mysterium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make sure I don't have it on here. I thought I did for a second, but I had what was it? I had Obscurio and Dixit. So yeah.
But I have already said Mysterium, which is why.
Yeah. So are you shocked with Mysterium? That it's that high for me?
No, not at all. Because I was shocked to see Obscurio, but then I was like, if Obscurio's there, I knew Mysterio was going to be
I actually can't believe that it's higher than Obscurio because
after last night's game, oh yeah.
Well, sure, but I did not change my list.
I know you didn't change.
Right.
What I'm saying is
sure.
Well,
so what I'm saying is that like the fact that I like betrayal or like hidden traitor kind of things more than I do just straight deduction. I like them both together, and this is still higher. I don't know. I think this was a nostalgic push for me.
For sure.
Because when we played this, you can't have a bad game of it, even if you lose. Yeah. You just can't. And so Mysterium is what I like to call the clue killer. It just destroys clue entirely. And I love the abstract art, the fact that everybody's working together cooperatively. And the overall theme, it is just spooky as all get out. It's like the best thing to play for spooky season. Yeah. Just is.
I think it made our number one list.
It was close there.
It was close,
yeah. I think it was like Arkham Horror the card game and Nemesis for our horror games.
Nemesis is pretty.
Yeah. But no, so Mysterium, oh my gosh, beautiful game, gorgeous art, really cool story. It just brings you right into that idea and theme overall. And so what you're doing is...
As you can see. You can read it through the top.
Oh, yeah, better watch out. So, what I love about Mysterium is the fact that somebody gets to be the ghost who got killed. And they have to, without saying any words, give these vision cards to the psychics who are investigating this mansion where the ghost died and trying to investigate the locations, the person who killed them, and with what item. So as the ghost gives a card, it could be like, okay, so this person has like food like on their card, and there's like all these selections that you get to do. Depending on how many players, it shows how many cards are out on the board. And so say she gives a vision card that has like food on it, and then one of the characters has food and they're like on their profile. They could say, okay, well there's this on here, but this has like a bird, maybe that's like. And so you're really trying to talk everything out among everybody, and so you're all working together to find out who your character is with the location and with the item of what they used to kill. That's fine. Just grass mowing.
Just grass mowing.
Just grass mowing. So if that makes sense, I probably over-explained that, but yeah. But anyhow,
I think it's a little bit.
Yeah. But it's so magical, especially when the ghost comes over and like either moves your little crystal orb back or forward if you get it right or wrong.
Very anticlimactic.
Yeah. Or you make it what?
Anticlimactic.
No, you don't. Well, or anticlimactic. Yeah. Well, depending.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll go like ooh. You're like oh yeah. So it's so fun, and however I will say this, I think Mysterium Park for me holds the cake there for that, because I prefer it to go a little bit quicker sometimes, unless you have like a big group go for the big main Mysterium. But if you just want to play like a quick, like, even 2 players, it's so good.
Yeah, Mysterium part.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just a quicker version, and it's like a circus theme, which I like that theme way more than just like mansion or
yeah,
whatever.
I like it though.
Yeah, true. But yeah, Mysterium overall, any Mysterium, that is number 16. Yep. Yep. Kill.
My number 16, I think, might also be a crossover.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I shouldn't have bet on...
Oh, wait a minute. Was Mysterium a crossover?
Yeah,
Did you mark it? Okay,
yeah. I think it is.
Okay.
My number 16, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Is Western Legends.
Yes! Another crossover! We're going to get that extra point for me. Let's do it. Cool.
We talked about this game.
Yeah.
It's Red Dead Redemption board game.
Yes.
That's literally what it is.
Red Dead
Redemption. Get to do whatever. You want to go sell some cattle, go sell some cattle. If you want to rob a place, go rob a place. If you want to go buy some stuff, go do it. If you want to help the sheriff out, go do it. Okay? You can do anything in this game, and it's so fun. What more can you ask for?
It's just a rootinest, tootinest game you ever played.
Yes, it is. And you're going to feel like you're living it.
Yeah.
And it's so fun, and that's the game. That's literally, I just explained to you the game. Yeah. That's how you play it. You do any of those actions.
Well, let's be honest. There's so many actions.
There's much more to go into.
You learn as you play.
Yes, you have to learn as you play because it's a sandbox game.
Yeah. On
your tabletop.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to do. But it's so fun. There's no like, I'm going to go after this guy and, do this.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
But you don't have to.
Right, exactly.
Just go do your own thing.
Yeah. It's like if you want to work with the sheriffs, you can and like arrest other people. Or if you want to be just like an outlaw, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it works so well. And one thing that you mentioned last time was the cards.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting about that. It's a 52 card deck, which is like a standard card deck, right? But they all do different things.
And
it's
they look like a deck of cards.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Yeah.
It's such a good game. I honestly
beautiful.
Don't have much more to say for it, except that it definitely, at one point, could have been in my top 10 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
I'm glad. It probably will shoot up more. Because
the more we play it, I feel like it'll definitely go up more.
Yeah.
Just because of how good of a time you're just going to have.
Oh, man, yeah. So great.
But... Yeah, my number 16 is Western Legends.
Cool.
I really don't have much more to say other than it's amazing.
Yes, it sure is. All right, cool. So number 15. This one shocked me a little bit. Kind of.
Is this going to shock me? Is this going to be...
Well, no, probably not. I just feel like it should be... No, you know what? It is a comfortable spot. It is a perfect spot.
What is it?
You ready? It is A Feast for Odin. No way! You thought it was my 10. That's crazy. Okay, again, let me go back on what I said. It actually should be my top 10 now. Yeah, A Feast for Odin is...
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you loved this game.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
Obviously, it's right here. It's a 15. So, A Feast for Odin is a game that I always want to play any time. We haven't played it in a while.
We haven't.
We need to play it very soon.
It's because, it's one of those ones that I don't want to scare people away from playing board games with us.
Oh, yeah.
But it would.
It's a chonker. You bring that thing. I mean, it's sitting up. Well, you can't really see it's right there, right? Yeah. But it's just a big old beast of a game. You open that box and there's trays and so many tiles. Uwe Rosenberg. This is his magnum opus. This is his biggest game, and he does it so magnificently. I mean, my gosh.
You want to have an incomprehensible amount of actions to be able to do.
His brain.
Play this game.
Yeah, but how does he make 60 different things that you can do, and they all make sense?
Yeah.
And there's billions of paths to actually achieve your goal. You are Vikings, and you are going out. You could either pillage stuff, you could either fish, you could sell cattle, you can go to the blacksmith. I mean, I don't know. What do you you go buy a boat, whatever. Worker placement games are some of my favorite things because it just makes so much sense. You are those characters. You go to those locations to do the thing, to get the stuff, to use that for other things.
Yep.
And I love those combos. I love just okay, so once I get this, I can flip these tiles. And so it's very hard to explain, but pretty much you have these big boards and there's a bunch of negative points. You start with 60 100,000 negative points.
Yeah.
A
lot of negative points. Basically, the entire board is negative points.
Yeah, exactly. And so all you're doing
until you cover them up.
Yes, and so you need to get food, you need to get items and equipment and weapons, and you need to put it out on this field.
Uwe Rosenberg, it's Polyomino.
Polyomino games are just amazing. And yeah, this one just takes the cake for that big, massive worker placement. Like, if you want the best worker placement game, just like or one of the best that has just everything that you can do. It is very sandboxy, kind of how Western Legends is. Like, there's so much to do, and yeah, every time it's good. It's a great game. Love it so much. That is my number 15, A Feast for Odin. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
My number 15 is a unique game.
Yeah.
That we've bought some extra things for that weren't really needed, but we bought them anyways.
I have no idea.
And that is Scythe.
Oh, it's needed. Scythe is great. Yeah.
No, we bought literal
what is
coins,
it?
Metal
the
coins.
metal coins.
We bought the resources pack that are high-end resources.
Yeah.
We didn't need to, but we did.
Yeah.
This is a... Jeez, what kind of game is this?
Well, it's weird because you can't really say Euro, but it has Euro ideas behind it, and it's very 4X like. So it has a lot of that like, but it's not because you're not fighting, but you can fight.
You can fight.
It's the threat
at one point, I used to call this a war game. I have since obviously learned because we played it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's not.
You don't have to fight.
Yeah.
You could just be off doing your own little thing, which is most of the time.
Unless you have 7 people on it.
Yes, which we have yet to play yet. We're excited to. You can kind of be off doing your own thing, gaining resources with your people, building your mechs to kind of just help get your points and your extra actions. So, and the pieces are really nice. Like I said, we bought the upgraded versions. You don't need them to still have a good time with it because we had a great time beforehand. We just loved the game so much that we had to buy the upgraded pieces. It definitely at one point was in my top 10. Like I said, this list is going to be my potential top tens. This game, when we first played it the first few times, I immediately was just like, this game. I wanted to play it with everyone. I remember the first time I heard about the game, I was watching a top 100 with you,
and it just sounded so cool.
The art looked so cool. The pieces
it's the
look
idea.
So cool.
It's very
the board is huge.
It's diesel punk, and it's like
the board is so huge. You get little mechs. Everybody's a different character. Everybody has these own little player boards, which are double layered.
And different every time.
So nice, so you can kind of put your little pieces in. It looks like a lot, but honestly, the game itself is so simple. You're literally moving your pieces to gain resources, to produce resources. You're trying to build things. You're trying to upgrade things. That's the game. It's simple, it's fun, but it's a big game, and they do it right.
The teach is so long, but when you know it, your turns are boom. You're just bam, 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 bam. Everybody's going around.
Some of our biggest games, this one's one of the easiest to teach, just because once they understand the process,
all those actions, right?
They can do it.
I do agree with that. It's that length of a teach. But it's actually super simple when you
simple.
When you know what you're doing.
It's such an easy game.
I think so. Because like you can already plan out your turn before somebody else is done and know exactly what you're going to do because they're not going to hinder you unless they're close to you and breach on your property or whatever.
But that's my number 15, and I love that game. It's one of my favorites.
For sure.
Scythe, number 15.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we're a little over halfway here. So my number 14. I'm glad that we played this before we ranked because this last time really pushed it up there, and that is Brass Birmingham. You thought that was in my 10 too? Listen, at this point we're gonna get really, really close to being I know. Brass Birmingham.
Did you see?
No, I didn't see him.
Okay.
So no, you're fine.
God.
Yeah.
I for sure
really
thought that this was.
This is my favorite.
Can I tell you where I put it?
Where?
On my guesses. I thought it was your number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo! Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah,
all
because
right.
you talked this game up before we even got it.
Oh, well, I knew it. Well, it's because it was number one on Board Game Geek.
That's why I thought it was going to be so high for you, because you immediately loved it before we even bought the game.
Yeah, true. All right, so just a disclosure here. Do not buy this game as your first game. Don't do it.
No.
You will hate it.
Or you're going to not even want to ever play it again once you set it up.
Yeah, if you're not like avid board game players or whatever, you won't like this. And the reason being is because it is so complex with the economic idea behind, like, you have to know what every card can be used for, and like, okay, so it's so hard to explain because you have to route build, but you have to route build in the way that's going to help you while also benefiting everybody else, so that you can take their coal or iron or whatever that you have to use. And
it almost feels like you don't have enough time to do it.
Yeah, I know. Because but I do enjoy that you know exactly how many turns there are left, and exactly, because it's just all timed because of that deck of cards. But yeah, so you are placing
a big strategy.
Yeah. So the idea, it's the Industrial Revolution. There's a nighttime side and a daytime side. We always use the nighttime. I think it's way prettier. But yeah, you are route building, and you are placing and building certain factories and ironworks or whatever. And you are doing this big trade. It's just an economic game. I mean, really, you are just pushing and learning the economy and how much things cost. Like, okay, coal at this point, it costs like 2 coins, but the more that's used up, it gets more expensive. It's so cool, and we need more games that are like this, where it has like at a big economy where you can flex that out and you control that. I love that so much. But yeah, Brass Birmingham is, now we haven't played the original Brass or Brass Lancashire, but I've heard Now I will say Brass Birmingham is really much better at 4 players. You probably always want to play it at 4. It's the essential.
It makes more sense because
now you can use the whole map.
Yeah.
And not the whole area. But yeah, Brass Birmingham, I'm not going to bore you to death because it does sound like a kind of boring game.
You can't really make it sound
like super. Oh yeah,
super
economy.
fun.
Like, who really cares? But it's so.
Fun.
It's so good. Yeah, it's just that complexity. It's the crunchiness of, like, I don't know. It's super tight, like resource management, and I just enjoy games where the economy is controlled by the players. I think it's so cool. So yeah, that is my number 14, Brass Birmingham.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right, number 14 is definitely another crossover already, I think.
Hey,
I think.
Proms.
I think. Yes.
Okay.
It definitely is, because I've marked it off on your list.
Cool. Nice. There's so many sounds going on, like, outside.
I know.
People cutting stuff. I don't even know what's going
on. My number 14.
What is it?
Arkham Horror.
Okay.
The card game.
Okay. Was that
That was already on your list.
I did not put that on there. Nice. Cool. I did not mark that as your top 10.
But that's another crossover, and he talked about this game, but it's a living card game. It literally tells a story with cards, and it feels like you're playing with a giant board and you're seeing everything in real time. It's kind of crazy how immersive it gets.
It is so immersive.
It's H.P. Lovecraft themed. It's really cool. He talked about it, and he explained it a little bit better than I think I would explain it, because he tends to understand how to explain this type of game.
It is weird, yeah.
Yeah, but it's you play. Everyone has different characters. It's kind of the same thing, like with what was it? Betrayal, House on the Hill, where they have different stats. Some have more health, some have more mental strength. Just kind of depends, and then that in turn is what you kind of use as your idea for what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's very adjacent to Mansions of Madness.
Yeah.
Like, even some of the characters are pretty much the same almost.
Yeah, they're basically based off the same. They're each other. Simple game. You build off with the cards. You use the cards to fight. You use your cards for, like, your actions. But yeah, so number 14 is a living card game, and it's Arkham Horror, and it's so good, and I love this card game, and it definitely was. I honestly think could have been my number 1 at one point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I totally
Arkham Horror, the card game, is my number 14.
Yeah, I think so.
14.
All right. Well, speaking of living card games, my number 13 is Marvel Champions, the card game. I'm kind of shocked that it's much higher than Arkham Horror, but it makes sense, and I think because this is not a campaign, so or it can be if you buy certain packs and stuff. Yeah, man, I love Marvel Champions so much. I just it's so amazing that again every character is obviously different and they play different. But this is a card game that just evolves and you get stronger and you upgrade. You know, I mean, there's Spider-Man, there's Captain Marvel, there's Iron Man, like whatever.
If you're a Marvel lover, you're gonna love it.
Oh yeah, and you can go out and buy whichever character that you want, like any hero that you want. You go buy it, and you can fight whatever villain that you want.
Yep.
I love that, and the fact that
you can see it. Too.
Yes. You can actually. Yes, yeah. That is a super immersive theme there. I mean, obviously Marvel, you can't go wrong with Marvel. But essentially what you're all doing, it's cooperative, so you're all working together to fight the main villain, and it gets more complex as you add. Well, I wouldn't say complex, but it just gets more kind of difficult. Like the villains, you can actually kind of mitigate how hard that they're going to be when you make their deck or whatever. But the more players that you have, the more health they have, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, I love the fact that you can switch to your alter ego, like Peter Parker back in the Spider-Man. If you're Peter Parker, you can heal, but if you're not, you can't heal, and then or what, right? Yeah.
It's almost a more complex version of Marvel United.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, because you're all because you can each benefit of like off of the next person's action or whatever. Yeah, I enjoy it so much, and we've lost every time. Okay. Yeah. It is actually difficult.
Very.
I don't know if it's because we just need to understand our characters better and play our cards right.
I think we need to keep playing them.
Yes.
To get the grip on it.
Listen, so I keep being Spider-Man, she keeps being Captain Marvel, and it's like I want to keep using those characters again. And normally, you kind of might get tired of certain characters, but the fact that your deck is always different when you pull out, oh, sweet, I have my web shooter, so let me attach those now, but I need to use some resources.
It's
Can you
hard.
help me out? It's like, oh, it's really, really hard. But yeah, I enjoy it so much, and it really makes sense. Like as you play it just you can kind of teach us as you go. There is a lot. There's kind of a lot to construct, but yeah, I think it's easier to teach as you go because you can understand like, okay, your cards cost this and what.
Why'd you write it like that?
I don't know. But yeah,
why'd you even write it?
I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. What it's called Marvel Champions card game. Whatever.
I know.
So yeah. Yeah. So anyhow,
you panicked. So
I did. I was like, no, please, no. Yeah. So Marvel Champions card game. If you enjoy Marvel and you want something that's like hefty and really, really good,
if you like Marvel United, but you want more from Marvel United,
yeah, or Marvel in general, and if you want a good Marvel game, this is it. So yeah, I enjoy it so much. That is my number 13, Marvel Champions, the card game. Cool.
My number 13 is a game that I'll be honest, when I first saw it, I was like, how is this going to be fun?
Yeah.
But I love it, and it's my number 13.
Okay.
And that is Grand Austria Hotel.
Whoa, yay! Okay, can I just go ahead and say something?
Oh, don't tell me. That's crazy to me. This game is literally filling a hotel, tending to guests, getting them in a hotel room. That's all it is. You get to serve people, you feed them, give them snacks, give them coffee, give them wine, and then send them over to their room. Yeah. And that's your goal, is to fill in as many rooms as you can with guests that have as many good points. Like, does that sound appealing?
Yeah, right.
Not really. Yeah. It didn't sound appealing to me when I first heard it.
Yeah.
But it's so fun.
It is.
And I don't know how else to explain how fun it is, because you're looking, and yes, it's kind of like the same. It's the same layout every time you play it, but you're still like, okay, what am I going to do this time? Like, what card should I focus on? Yeah. And then and you never know, because you also got to wait and see what guests are going to be out on the board. So then you got to go like, okay, well, if that guest is there, should I risk it and just wait on it? But then if you wait on it, that other player might get it, which is what's happened to us a couple times. And it's just really cool to see us go back and forth, because it is a very competitive game.
It really is.
It doesn't feel like it's that competitive, but it really is.
It really is. It's a Euro game with dice that makes sense.
Yes.
And that's kind of rare.
And I'm not going to lie, sometimes when I'm playing this game, I'm just like, damn, if only I didn't like the rules so much about not re-rolling.
Yeah, I know. because each time you re-roll, you lose a die to do the action because it's the power of how many dice. It's really interesting.
And then, like, you can roll all of one. I mean, it's unlikely, but you can roll all of the same number, and then you might be screwed for that entire turn. So, like, you really... there's a strategy you gotta have, but you can't stick with that strategy the entire way because you never know.
Yeah.
They add that bit of luck to the game in such a way that, like, it almost feels like it's not a luck-based game.
Yes, of course, because you have to work with what you have.
Yes.
It's that resources that are very, very finite.
Very limited.
Yeah.
And just...
Yeah.
Overall, I know it sounds like a boring game.
Yeah.
It is not a boring game.
Well, and like also, I just want to add, if you don't mind, so just the fact of like, if you play with more than 2 players, your turn, it's going to take a while to get right back to you because what it does is it starts with the first player, it goes all the way around, and then that person who ends it goes all the way back around again. So if you're the first player, and you do toss that around, so like you don't always get to be the last and the first. It does so. I think it works best with 2.
We've enjoyed it more at 2 players.
Yeah.
For sure. But the game itself, it sounds boring. Doesn't sound that appealing. Honestly, even the box itself, when I looked at it, I was like, I don't want to play this.
It has that like Uwe Rosenberg art, which I forget the artist's name.
But I've come to love it now. I've come to love that art.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great game.
It is.
Give it a chance if you've been iffy about it and you just were like, I don't know. Give it a chance. I promise you're honestly going to have a great time with it. It's such a fun game, such a simple game too in what it really is. And it's just fun. It gets your brain really thinking and working in a way that like it doesn't overwhelm you.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like it's a perfect one of those Euro games that if you're trying to introduce people to
maybe I don't know.
I
beg to differ.
Personally, I think if you're trying to introduce them to something different, Grand Austria might be the one to do.
True, if they like dice and they understand Euro, but you need to play like a soft Euro before you get to this. I think.
That is true. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Yeah. Soft Euro. But yeah, so Grand Austria Hotel is my number 13.
Heck yeah. All right, number 12. I'm really happy where this is. Very happy. This is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's another crossover.
Yeah, it sure is. Yep, as she said, everything about it. If you love archaeology, if you love Indiana Jones or the Uncharted series on PlayStation, Lost Ruins of Arnak is where it is. It's so great. I love deck building. I love worker placement.
Direct crossover, but in the same video.
I know, that's crazy. I don't think we're having direct crossovers.
No,
I mean, maybe our 10s are coming up, but we'll see. But yeah, so I love worker placement. I love deck building, and I love track boosting. Like that, it's just those 3 things work together in such a way that it makes the whole. I mean, my gosh, every time I look at this game, I'm like, yep, I want to play that right now. Like every single time, I never want to say no to this ever. But yeah, Lost Ruins of Arnak, it's so beautiful. Again with the art. And then I really enjoy the expansion, which is one thing that you didn't mention, but the expansion, I think it's the Expedition Leaders expansion, the first one. The other one, I forgot what it's called, but it's like it has like a campaign style thing. It's like a cooperative or solo campaign, which I really want to play that. It sounds amazing. But anyhow, yeah, with the first expansion, everybody has asymmetric abilities and their own character type. So like. There's like the Falconeer, which can use like a falcon to do certain things. There's who did I play last time? She was one person.
Whatever.
Yeah, I forgot her name, but she was able to like
explorer.
Yeah. It was just one girl, and she was able to go out and do her little thing, and then she could stay out longer and use snacks to stay out longer.
Yeah.
Right. Because you always get 2 workers. And then you played somebody super complex. It was the mystic guy. Yeah. And he was able to do like rituals or whatever. And like, he was super tough.
It was a little hard. I think that's also a reason I need to not try to
yes, you did the most complex out of everybody, but yeah, no, it's a brilliant game. Love it so much. Every single time I want to play it. And the setup is it's a little long, but I don't care because I love the game so much. So yeah. But that is my number 12, Lost Ruins of Arnak. So yeah.
My number 12.
Yeah.
I almost feel a little bad putting this so close to what else I just said a little bit ago.
Okay.
But it is different in its own sense.
Okay.
So, my number 12 is Mansions of Madness.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I am not an app.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even think I could say that anymore because there's a couple games that
you're fine with. Yeah.
It's an app game.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
an app driven.
An app driven game with the board. It's an app driven game with the board, and they do it in such a way that you're there in the mansion with them. You're playing. You're doing it. We've lost every time. It's hard, but it's so fun. You get to explore rooms. You get to search for things. You're trying to solve a mystery. This game is a scenario-based game that basically you can choose any character anytime, every time you play. We played, I think, one time, each of us playing 2 people.
Yeah.
Did we do that?
Yeah. It works
because it's a better game, I feel like, at 4 players because there's so much that you're going to try to get done because things start to happen. You want to try to make the most.
You need that extra
people. Because things happen real fast, and the game is hard, and the people are scary, and the creatures are scary, the minis are scary.
The music is so
good. Music is intense, and the game is so easy to learn. You literally can pull it up to... We played it with someone who doesn't play board games, and he caught on so easily because it teaches you to play as you're playing it. Even if you played the game a million times.
It's really the overall atmosphere that like helps with that because it's like, okay, I know I have to be able to move. I know I have to be able to pick up things.
And
so it's like
and
those
to be
actions.
able to visualize it too with the app, I think helps a lot because then the people can see, okay, this is reading it to me what I'm actually doing. This is telling me, okay, cool. It's easy. It's a quick game. You can do short scenarios. There's longer scenarios if you're like doing like a spooky night. Definitely worth doing it. And I am so excited. I know we're not putting... You can keep this out of the video, but I'm so excited to play this in the new house.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that just feels like the perfect spooky vibe.
I agree.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. That was completely off that. Okay. But yeah, so that is my number 12, Mansions of Madness. Like I said, I feel a little bad putting it so close to Arkham Horror because they are
that makes sense.
Kind of similar, but
I understand why
one does one better, and that's why it's higher.
Well, maybe, but also I think we need to play both more, and then maybe.
Have you seen Mansions of Madness?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another question.
Yep.
All right, so yeah.
All right, are you ready for a shocker? This one is, you would never think that this will be up this high at all. At all. Okay. My number 11. This is the last before we get to our top 10s. Here we go.
I know.
I'm blown away. Okay. Ready? This is Zuvadis.
What?
Gotcha. I know, and let me explain it all. Let me explain this right now. Yes. So Zuvadis is my favorite negotiation game. Well, one of my... Wait.
Obviously, I'm going to tell you now it's not on my list.
No, I know that. Yeah, it actually is. Zuvadis is one of my favorite negotiation games, and here is why.
Yeah.
So... It's the potential that it has. We have not had a great play of this. We just haven't. But I see it, and I know it, and it's like, okay, this is a negotiation game that I can teach in a few minutes and play it in 20. And if I can get that across, the game expands for however long you want to play it. Because you can promise people that you're going to help them, and then not help them, and then like lie to them later.
That's how you lose friends.
Yeah. But I love that idea of just like, okay, let's make an alliance. Like, I'll help you help me. Oh, sorry, I'm taking your spot. Okay, so let me explain the game. So the game is super simple. So what it is that everybody has you are a certain type of animal, an animal crew or whatever.
It's like a world where animals run the zoo.
Yeah, exactly. And the zookeeper helps or whatever, kind of. But yeah, so this is a Rhino Knizia game that was re-implemented years ago. It used to be called Quo Vadis, I believe. And it was just ugly. Nobody really cared for it. And then they redid it, and it's more bright and vibrant, and it just looks better.
I do like the art.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so this is a game that it's just, like I said, so everybody is a certain type of animal with a different ability. You cannot use your own ability, which is weird. And I never thought that would be like, how does that work? But everybody else can. And you can promise to help other people and say like, okay, if you give me a laurel, which is the little tokens in the game, if you give me a laurel, I'll let you use my ability to go to the next area. And all you're trying to do is you're placing your animals and try to get to the very end. But if the end, if the final enclosure, I guess the end of the zoo or whatever, if it has
If it's already filled up.
Yeah, if it's already filled up and you're not there, you do not win. You do not get to score.
Yep.
So
you're all basically racing to the end.
Yes, yeah, and it's so funny to just like cut people off and like, oh, sorry.
Not funny.
It's not funny. It's very, very brutal of a game. You have to be okay with mean games, and this is a mean game. But again, I love the theme. I love the art, and we have the deluxe edition, so we have like all those really cool pieces, and the wooden meeples and the bigger sideboard and stuff like that. So yeah,
I didn't realize that was a deluxe edition.
Yes, yeah. So I wanted it so bad, and I'm so glad that we got it because again, it's the potential that it has. We need to have more plays with this, and it's easy to. It's easy to just pull out and teach and play. So yeah, that is Zoo Vadis at my number 11. Last one. What's your last one?
Number 11. Oh my god, I just love this game.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, you might be surprised.
Okay, I'm ready.
My number 11 is Spirit Island.
Yay!
I love this game so much.
Yes, you
especially do. When we played as the hardest characters.
Got some sirens going on. Busy today. It's busy.
Well, wait a second.
There's a lot of minutes.
Oh my god, this game. When we played it the last time, we were the hardest spirits. I played the darkness, whatever.
It was the nightmares or whatever.
Something. You were the ocean. And oh my god, did we kill it. We won multiple ways, and it felt so good because it was hard. We struggled. It was a long game.
Yes.
It went on for a while, but the strategy that we were building together, it was... I want to play it.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to play it. I love this game so much, and I honestly think it could have been my number one almost because of that last game we played.
There you go.
Because it was so good.
Yeah.
It is a hard game. I'm not going to lie. It's a big game. It's if you're wanting to play a game quickly, it's
not gonna be quick.
You're never gonna think about this one.
No. Well, it depends on how many players you have too. The more players,
I will say I do want to see a fancier version because I want like cooler plastic pieces.
There are tokens. Yeah, there's upgradable pieces. So
we're gonna get them.
And we don't have any expansions. And the fact that like there's so much in the box too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We've played it so many times, and you can mix and match the spirits who you play as. You definitely want to try to find good dynamic between what their abilities are because they're all asymmetric powers that you each have different things that you do, and it's so fun because you really got to strategize on your own end, but you're also working together at the same time, and the way that you got to go back and forth off each other. It's such a good cooperative game. It's such a fun game. You're battling like these intruders, these outsiders who are basically coming on to
the island
to take over. You're trying to protect the locals there, but without
hurting them.
But at the same time, you're the spirit, and that's your place, so it doesn't really matter too much. Especially if you're the nightmare, you can sacrifice them to help gain fear and other things. And it's just
because you're trying to scare them off to where they're not going to.
So hard is when we played it this last time as the nightmare can't get rid of anybody.
No, you cannot actually do any physical damage.
I can't do any damage, so I'm just there pushing people towards him, getting them closer to him,
so I can swallow them and keep them in the ocean, use them as energy. Oh man!
And we're gonna play this.
Just play it like
this game. This game is like, oh my god! I can't even explain to you. It's like crunchy. I feel it in my bones. I do. That's awesome. Why I'm almost sad that it's just not in my top 10.
I know. What are you doing? What are you doing?
But my love for Spirit Island will continue to grow every time we play it. I truly believe that with every expansion, with every piece, and I will be getting the upgraded pieces now that I know they exist. I don't know why you never told me.
I know.
But that is my number 11, and that is Spirit Island.
Awesome. That is great to finish with before we get to our 10.
Yes.
So, awesome, guys. That was fun. That was very fun.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
We have some exciting news that we'll probably disclose in the next video with you guys, and we're really excited. So definitely stay tuned for that one.
Yes.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this to your friends, please.
Yes, please.
Please, it helps us out, and we appreciate hearing from you guys all the time, even if it's mean. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll listen. It helps us. But thank you guys so much, seriously. And if you haven't already watched the other videos,
yes, please do.
Please go ahead and go watch them.
At least give them likes and stuff.
They will be linked down below in the description.
They sure will. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you in the next video. Our 10-1. Yes. Oh my gosh.
And
I'm gonna cry.
Don't forget that if you're looking for any of these board games, go check out your local board game shop first. Supporting them will always help our community keep growing and getting bigger.
Exactly. And ours is Family Game Nights.
Yes.
So please check them out. Or give them a like on Facebook. We have the link in the description below.
Yes.
As well. So yeah. All right. That's it. See you next video. Bye.